Well, hello everyone, and welcome to KingPittDawg Racing. Those of you who are new, my name is Kevin, otherwise known as KingPittDawg, and we have our new account. I'm starting a new alternate account, and that is what I am making this video for. So everyone can learn about GT7. This is the main page, and as you can see, I basically have done nothing. I have an intro video that kind of goes through the basic steps of setting up GT7. I did have some problems with my sound on that. It wasn't on because this is a new account and I had to link it and everything. So that I will be actually dubbing over. I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. That may take a while, but this is actually the starting point, and you can see here. This is our main screen. We're going to go back to the main screen here, which I explained in my other video, even though you couldn't hear me. This is the main screen when you first sign on to Gran Turismo. This is the options you have. You can do the music rally, which is a little hokey to me. I mean, I guess if you're just trying to chill, that's okay. I'm more of trying to be kind of serious competitor here. So this is the main screen, or the GT7 world, if you will. You can look around this here, and right now we have bought a car, as you can see up here at the top, the Mazda Demio. We started off with 20,000 credits. We have the Mazda Demio XD, which is a choice here to purchase through the used car center. And so just to kind of go around the world here, if you will. You can go over here to the top. If you look where the cursor is right now, you can go up and see the Gran Turismo replays. The garage is kind of like your main area. I guess you would call it home. This is just now opened on this new account here. So to kind of step back, if you want to find me on the PlayStation Network, it's KingPittDawg. And you can look right here on my page, and you'll see it's just like that, KingPittDawg, capital K-I-N-G, capital P-I-T-T, capital D-A-W-G. This is my alternate account which adds an underscore FQ2. FQ2, for those of you who don't know, is my company. It was known as First Qualities Industry Incorporated, so I've taken the two I's and turned them into a 2. And that's where we're at. So the garage here is, again, this is your basis for getting in and out of the cars to drive. Sarah down here, our guide, will kind of help you through, and I'll let you read those things as you go through. So we did buy this car used. It does have 14,000 miles on it. This is the Mazda Demio, which was sold here as the Mazda 2. And then the sedan version was sold in the United States as the Toyota Yaris, or the Scion IA, right as they transitioned out of the Scion brand. Toyota did. So basically, you can pretty easily see what you got to do. You get stats on the car. You get kind of a walk around of the car here, video, and so you can change your cars. Now this, because I bought this, these cars came as part of the pack. So I already have these cars. These were they consider them downloadable content, but they were part of my 25th anniversary special edition I bought. And I've raced this one probably the most, and probably the RX Vision second. RX Vision's, depending on the track, can be a really good car. So now I wanted to point out here, for those of you new, look right here where the cursor is, right across here. It says oil normal, engine normal, and I guess that, I'm not sure. Actually, I've never really had this come up. This is probably have something to do when you start getting wear on the car. But the cars will wear. They do use up oil consumption. You do have down here, you have collections now. This is going to be basically the same thing we just looked at, only in a different form, where everything is broke down. So every car by country, they pretty much break it down by country. I think you can change it by different things as well. I never really come in here that much. But you can see, you can go by manufacturer, you can go by model year, and they go all the way down to 1929 and you know, early cars. and then you go by categories, and it's pretty simple. I mean, I don't really, like I said, don't really use this that much. That's more for just if you're, you know, wanting to be proud of your collection. So, but tuning parts, go in here, it'll kind of tell you what parts you have available. There's nothing available right now. And again, these are parts that you get through the gift, which is right in here. And these are gifts that you get for completing different things. And they're usually roulette tickets, and then you get different other things as you go through. I don't get your hopes up too much. Generally, you get the smallest thing, unless you've spent a lot of time, and then it will give you. You know, it's kind of, I'm sure it's pre-programmed. But then you've got car settings, and this is where you can view all the different things in the car. And as you can see to the left, you got a comparison there. So if we went to change something, and I don't think we've got anything yet, because like I said, this is brand new. So I don't have anything for this except those cars that came as downloadable content, and this car that we bought. Alright, so what you would do is you went down and changed something. So we don't have anything right now. You see everything's grayed out. You could change things and change the settings of your car to get different levels of performance points. Now, your performance points, which, yes, I know it's a translation, but everybody will make fun of you saying you need to raise your PP, and your PP is too big, and things like that. Yes, it's funny. Yes, and you can continue. I mean, it's hard not to crack a joke about it. I mean, that was definitely lost in translation. Those of you who don't know, this is a Japanese-based game, which means you'll be driving a lot of right-hand drive cars. So, but your performance points is based on a myriad of factors. They're pretty much everything that's in this area on the left, and you can affect that by minimal adjustments. Tires are the quickest thing that you get to set up, and then so up here now what you can do is you have settings sheet 1. So what I can do is create a duplicate sheet, and then I can just mark this one like KPD, or I could just use KingPittDawg. I will call it a Mazda 2. Mazda 2. Okay, so we're going to call it KingPittDawg Mazda 2, and we're going to save that, and then you can choose then from your different settings up here at the very top. So then to see the measure there, so now we're going to affect that. So keep that in mind, 328.57. And then we're going to exit out of here. So to continue our trip around the world here. So I guess it's going to make us go to the cafe. It's not going to let me go anywhere else. So we might as well step onto the cafe. So when you go inside the cafe, they'll kind of greet you. The guy will kind of supposedly greet you here. You can see some of the people on the wall. If you pay attention, they do a pretty good job of throwing things on the wall, and you can always see whatever car you're in outside the cafe. But these menu books are basically just objectives, and you'll go through those, and you'll get rewarded for doing so. So it's going to kick us into the first menu book here. And again, those who are watching these videos, I'm going to make these videos probably somewhere around 20 to 30 minutes each, so it's not too much. So you can, and also if you know something, you could just fast forward. So just kind of a little side note there. So the menu books here, the first one is Japanese compact cars. So that's what we're in right now. We've got one of the three. So you can see that it'll give you hints of what you can do. You can go and run. You can spend credits and buy them in the used car section. Again, we'll get out there and go to that, or compete in races and win them as gifts. So there's a couple of different ways to do that. You can rent cars in this game, which is something that is interesting because. So let's go ahead and we'll read about this. The first menu I've prepared for you is all about click. I mean, I'll do a voice. His name is Luca. I don't know, what would that be? What's he, probably French? Your goal is to simply acquire the 3 cars listed on the menu. You might have 1 or 2 of them ready, but your work's not done. You've collected all 3, then you get your reward. You can receive the cars as rewards for your performances in certain World Circuits races. An orange compass will guide you to the races where you can, the cars you need to be done can be won. Be sure to come back to the cafe once you've collected all 3 cars. Okay, so now it'll let us out of the cafe. And you can see, again, the car's right outside the door there, no matter what car you're in, which is on the top. So I guess I should touch on that. So up here at the top of the screen, again, we have the GT menu. And I click on that, you've got My Page, which is this page that basically shows your summary. Okay, so it tells you what you've done. You can look up your friends' stuff and stuff like that in here, your gallery, things, your news feed, which is going to give you different things like shares and things like that other people do. But if you look down right in this box right here, you can see that this shows you that this is something, again, you can set up in your profile. About me, I'm KingPittDawg on PlayStation Network. Also KingPittDawg if anybody plays it on Mobile Strike, and also on Game of Thrones Conquest. So this one is my alternate. The YouTube is at KingPittDawg Racing. Obviously, you know that if you're watching it on KingPittDawg Racing. Instagram, though, I do have an Instagram at KevinP_KPD. I'm not very good at keeping that up to date. I do try to post things when I have time to give people an idea of where, what's going on the channel. And then I've also been posting here and there some things on my Supras. Those of you who don't know, I do have multiple Toyota Supras. Mark II Toyota Supras, the second generation 82 to 86 Supras. And I also have one Mark III, a Lexus SC400 parts car, which is basically the spawn of the Mark IV Toyota Supra. So I like to call it the Mark III.5 Toyota Supra. That is the SC400, that's the 4-liter 1UZ FEV8, which is going to end up in one of my Supras eventually. So your options screen, you can set up your controllers. Now I am on a Thrustmaster T300 RS GT with the T3PA pedals. I have robbed my clutch pedal spring for my throttle because after about 100,000 miles plus of racing on this thing, it's getting a little worn out. So I am actually in the process of researching which wheel I'm going to buy, and I'm thinking the Thrustmaster TGT2. So this is your profile, your greeting you set up, your links you can show on your page, your cover photo, things like that, the nickname, and then sport mode, we'll get into that. I will be running the Nations Cup, or the Manufacturers Cup race tonight on this account, because I'm just not confident in my ability at that track, and I haven't done a lot of practice. So one important thing I want to point out to anybody who's been doing this a long time, save a lot of replays. This storage here is very, very important. Okay? You can see it shows I've got 95% of my storage available. So one thing, I do save a lot of replays, obviously, because of the channel. I like to go back and replay races like a broadcast. I don't do a lot of other things, but it's mostly replays. My suggestion would try to keep this below 50% used. Once I get up above 95% used, not available, this is showing storage available right now, things start to glitch. And it doesn't matter, my PlayStation, I've got 2 terabytes of the additional MD2, whatever the heck the number is, memory. The game only uses so much space. Doesn't matter how much storage you have available. So I recommend keeping this cleaned out, because I had some glitching problems, and my car would just disappear to other people on the screen, and I would show up like 3 or 4 seconds behind that. And the reason was it was low on memory. I was like at 98, but at one point I was at like 98% of my storage used. And I couldn't figure it out. I kept thinking it was my connection and things like that. So anybody that has that issue where you start glitching and the thing will freeze up, it's like a lag freeze. It's because the game is trying to use your storage to transfer things, and there's not enough available for it. So even though the PlayStation has more memory than the game uses, it's only using so much. So it's like the game has its own little setup of storage, like its own little RAM that it uses. So just keep that in mind. Try to keep your replays, as long as you share them, they're then on the cloud, so you don't lose you'll be able to get a hold of them if you want to. So so you can set all your settings up in here. So people that want to change things, you can go through this and experiment with this. Some of the stuff I don't even know how it works, but most of it is this is the other thing you can do. Delete temporary data. So that's when you do that, that'll free up all your temporary space. I thought that was on the game. Alright, that would be Prince KingPittDawg III, my Weisenheimer kid, trying to get my attention without me being able to see him. I kept looking back, and he was right behind my chair. Anyway, that's your basic setups. Your controllers, again, your profile, and then this is if you want to ever look up the stuff about the game. One thing, if you are broadcasting, you need to make sure you go in there and set up, so it'll set up the sound, so that... I think it's down here, broadcast mode. You want to turn broadcast mode on so that your copyright restricted music won't be on the stream, won't be playing on the stream. So that's the basics of setting up here. You can, like I said, you can play around with this. This is the Beyond the Apex magazine, which I've never really done much with this. It'll go through and give you, all the different things you can see in there about what I probably should go through this, just because there's probably some things I'm missing. But I will continue to I'll continue to go over this. Now it should let us go around the world here, so let's see. No, actually it's not going to let me. We're only going to be able to do a few things here until we get a little farther here, so it's not even letting me go down and change the oil or anything on the car. So what we're going to have to do is go into the menu, book, and then we're probably going to have to go over here and hit start. So first is about Japanese cars. We got to acquire the 3 cars. Alright, here we go. Now it's going to push us through so we can go into the next segment. It'll unlock the probably the world circuits. So now, World Circuits is now open. So now, World Circuits is now open. And the showcase is now open. So now, the showcase, again, this is where you go ahead and you can find different things. You can see all the different things. So what I'm going to do actually is we're going to search, because I need to friend my other account, which I haven't done yet. So I think we can do that. Let's see if I can find out how to do that. I think we go down here to friends. And there's none. So actually maybe you can't. Maybe you have to do it outside of this. So we're going to do it real quick. We're going to do this. Because I'm on the PlayStation app. Will do. So I'm on my PlayStation app. And I need to go to friends. And I need to add friend. And then we're going to go... King Pit. Should come up there. Oh, there's actually few more King Pits than I thought. DAWG. Underscore. Well, you gotta be pretty exact on these. That's one thing I don't like about this. It's not finding it. Interesting. What if it'll find my nickname, Finn?
I looked up ethanol while you were first into it and you didn't exist.
So I wonder, because I just changed all that stuff, if it hasn't saved it yet. Or somewhere in my options I've got this account as being kind of hidden. So yeah, you're right, it's not coming up. So that's something to learn too, something you learn while streaming here. That it's not going to have me on here because I would have to get signed into the sport mode. So again, it's not going to let me do anything here except what we've unlocked. So we're going to go out here real quick. And these are our world circuits, and it'll unlock the circuits. So right now this is the only circuit that we have unlocked in the USA. Broad Bean. I don't even remember that track. So let's go run that. So we got to get 3rd place or higher here in our Sunday Cup. And we're going to get an Aqua or a Prius C. We'll see what I can do with without spending any money on tires. We're going to see what we can do here. So you go in here. Now again, I am on my wheel. Just making sure it's set. So we're in our Demio. We're going to start 8, and we're going to get 2 laps here at Broad Bean. Oh, I do remember this track. Don't know if I remember it was called Broad Bean. So what I always do is set my radar down there on the bottom. I set my radar. Oh, I got all kinds of nannies on. So you can see down in the bottom right, that's called your radar, for those who haven't driven this track before or driven on GT7. Now I always use cockpit mode. There are multiple modes to this, but I always use cockpit mode. But you can use the bumper cam, which without any reference, I just can't use it. It's just too hard for me. You can use a hood cam. Now, this is what I used to run in like Gran Turismo 2 or whatever it was. And then you can run this, which I've never been able to do at all. I thought I had all these brake markers and stuff off. Don't know if I'm going to get the leader here. We're going to try. Now you see I got the line markers on and the driving line, so just kind of give you an idea, those who haven't done, where's a good idea to drive. So there's the checkered flag, and we're going to finish second in this one. Alright, so we got a clean race bonus, so we made 4,500 credits. And we got into our driving marathon. And we won a Prius Aqua. And that bumps us up on the collector level. And then it'll take you right into an automatic replay. And there's a bunch of controls here. You can go forward a lap. You can change your camera by, you can change the car you're in, you can change the camera. And you can make photos, you can capture a thumbnail, which I need to do more for my YouTube thumbnails. And again, you can switch the camera. This is actually the coolest shot. This is new to GT7. And what's really cool about it, they got it set so that you can see cars around you up in the rear view mirror. The camera's set supposedly like a GoPro. And you see I've got the head wobbles and everything. And it shifts. But that's my favorite view. The only problem is you can't look back. On these other views you can hit the look back button. You can't do it on this one. So then, when you come out, always remember, because I do still forget, save replay. Okay, so there's our first race. So then we can retry. And this time we're going to get him. You see this Mazda has a head-up display, which a lot of Mazdas do. And I always have it on manual transmission. This gives you a braking zone indicator. Now we got to try to run them down here in this last lap. See, I'm just slightly lifting there to let the car rotate. Now we're back on it. We're going to drive in a little high so we can try to cut it down coming off the corner. Ooh, I don't know if we're going to get him. It's kind of lagging on me here. Oh, it's going to be... No, didn't quite get him this time. So we got a lot closer that time. And just, you can keep doing this because you'll keep getting credits on it. Probably get a clean race bonus, so... we just about paid for this car. And again, we'll go out and reset again. And we'll save that replay. Alright, so here we go. Ooh, we almost chastained it there. It's almost like a super speedway for this car. Hola, buenas tardes. I'm flat on it. Oh, we got him this time. We got the preferred line. And you see, you want to aim for those little markers. That'll tell you where you want to be. Now, eventually, in these tutorials, I'm going to shut all these nannies off, but gives you an idea what you can use to develop learn a line, learn the light racing lines at the tracks. So now we got the victory, we got our first win, and we won enough money to buy that car, and we paid that car off. Alright, so once again here we're watching the replay. We're gonna save the replay. And you can do this, you can go in here, display race info, or you can display all info. And it'll show you, when you get out here, you can see the cars. You have to hit the circle button just once, and it'll show you. Then you can switch cameras, and it'll show you. It'll show you the everything that's going on, where you're shifting, where you're braking, all that. You can see your throttle on the right, your brake on the left side of the tack and shifter speed indicator there. And I think that pretty much covers. Again, you can go back 10 seconds. And we can watch the pass. You can change the car and watch the race from the other car. Change the camera. We're watching the battle for the lead here. Go back 10 seconds. We can switch up to the other car. And you can also turn the camera with the right stick. That's pretty close to topped out for that car. So, anyway, that gives you an idea going into that. And we'll save the replay. So now we should have 3 plays in there. Now, you can also... Whoop, let's go here. You can also share the replay right from here, which... It's kind of a little bit drawn out to save the replays, but I'll show you that in the next video. But as you can see here, we acquired our other car. And as you can see, the available events, we've got the only one available, and we've got a gold. And now we can go to Europe, and we can go to Lago Maggiore, and we can run 2 different races, which we'll do on the next video, at least the next tutorial video. So I'm going to sign off this, son, and that'll be enough for today's lessons. And then we'll have part 2 probably tomorrow sometime, and we'll get in there. I'm hoping it's going to let me register here for... Let's check this out and see if it's going to let me do it. My page... Yeah, I may have to do this offline and see if I can get registered. Otherwise, I may just skip the manufacturer's race tonight, because I don't feel confident enough to drag my driver rating down on my main account. Now that I'm gonna have this account, I'll use this for races I'm not so sure about. So that's it for this one. Again, as you can see now, we've got a little more. Let's go back to the cafe here. We could do. I think I've got enough funds just real quick before I sign off. We still need to get the fit hybrid, so let's go out here, and then we're going to go up to the used cars. And let's see if we got a fit hybrid up here. Probably is. Yeah, there we go, right there. Look at that, all 3 of them are available. So we're going to go ahead and buy that one. And then we'll finish off this first menu book as we've finished it off. We're not going to get in the car, but when we go out here, now we can go back to the cafe. And you can see in the top corner, it kind of gives you an idea where you're at. Right up there in the top left, just next to the GT. Right up here. It tells you to go back to the cafe. So we go click on cafe. And then now we've got, not only did we earn a trophy, but we've got our first menu book completed. And then Luca will go through and tell you about the difference with the cars, the different cars. But as you can see, we got a 1-star roulette ticket, and we opened up the license center. So if we go back to Luca here, he'll give you a little bit of a rundown. It's pretty neat. There's some good information in here on these cars. And again, in the Mazdas that say XD are diesel engines. And again, this car sold as a Toyota Prius C here in the United States. Okay, so then Stella here. So now she's going to give us a little description of the car. Again, sold as the Mazda 2. The sedan version sold as in the United States as the Toyota IA. First it was a Scion IA, I think. And then it was the actually no, that might have been the IM. But then it was also called the Yaris. I took my driver's test on a 1983 Mazda 626 Touring hatchback. 5-speed. My first driver's test. So, alright. So now we've still got 11,000 credits. We've opened up the license center. And now we can go back to the garage and collect our ticket. So we click on it, receive this gift. You can hang on to these too. You don't have to take them if you don't want to, but it doesn't do you any good to hold on to them. Maybe we'll get lucky and win a car. Nope, we won the smallest stack of money. But it's 10,000 more credits, basically doubling what we've got and putting us over our original amount. So there's that part of it, and that's a good point to stop this video. And then on the next video, we'll get a little bit more into, we'll get into the license center. We'll go across there and try to get bronzes just for speed. And I'll also explain some driving techniques and things you learn on that kind of stuff. So that's it for this video. We'll see y'all again possibly later on here tonight for the manufacturer's race. Otherwise, if I don't run that, I might come on and do another video here and move forward here on the alternate account. See if we can get things to where we can drive on this for some of these manufacturer and Nations Cup races. So keep watching out for me. If you haven't subscribed again, do so. Hit that notification bell, and you will know when I'm on. Again, you can find me on the PlayStation Network under this one as KingPittDawg _FQ2, or on my main account, as I mentioned before, right up here, it's just KingPittDawg without the _FQ2 on it. So right here, where the cursor is, KingPittDawg is my main account. And then the _FQ2. I don't think this is completely registered yet, so I'm probably going to have to close out of here and save, and then we'll be able to find it. So that's it for now. We'll see y'all later. Until then, KingPittDawg out.